Hello, everyone. It was really great to see most of you the other day and hope you can join for future presentation sessions going forward. For this short video, I just want to go over the educational strategy assignment that is due next Wednesday, April 1st. So you have time to review this video and find your interventions and develop your strategy and then submit that for next Wednesday. So I'm going to show you where you can find everything on Moodle for this assignment here. So on your Moodle page, you've got everything up for next week. So review this presentation. Hopefully you are obviously doing that right now. And then you're going to come down and get your educational strategy and intervention descriptions worksheet. So I'm going to pull up the Word one, but you can make a copy and do it through Google. I think it's going to be the easiest to submit your whole project in a Google Doc in the end, and how you put things together, but you can also submit it as Word, whichever works best for you. But for feedback purposes, Google Docs, I can provide comments on the side. So in this worksheet, what you're going to do is going to go back to some of the things that you should have revised based on previous recommendations, but restate your mission and your program goal here. So this way, I want to make sure that you're developing a strategy that really goes along with your mission and the purpose of your program. So then include that program goal, that overall program goal that, remember, is about the health, not a behavior. Next, where will your program take place? This needs to be a very specific setting, so not just in elementary school, the actual name and location of that elementary school. When will your program take place? So you'll pick a month, or if it's 2 weeks over a certain period of time, days of the week, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, what time of the day, and then how long the program will last. So if it's just one big session, is it a 3-hour workshop, for example? Is it a 6-week after school program? That type of thing. So be very specific here. Then you should have already this next part done, and those are your behaviors. So put in the 3 behaviors that you're choosing to focus on. And then you're going to need 2 to 3 learning objectives for each behavior. So this is going to end up helping with your educational assessment that's coming up next. So what you need to do here is put in what your participants need to know, believe, or feel, or what skills they need to have to make that behavior change. So you need 2 to 3 per behavior. So I will look to see that there's a match with those. Then you need to list and describe 3 different interventions. Remember, interventions are activities for how your participation is going to learn the items that you've mentioned above to ultimately make those behavior changes to ultimately achieve your program goal. So everything should really line up and match here. So what I'm going to show you next is a little bit more on your interventions and how to decide that, and kind of also how to think about your strategy and the way you're going to go about it. So I've put a link up here. It's old. Unfortunately, they aren't doing what they've done in the past in terms of the calendar they have, but they do have the archive calendar. So I'm going to encourage you to use this and look at this just as a way to consider when to have your program, if there's a specific month. So they are highlighting some here, so if yours falls in here, so I know a couple of you have nutrition related programs, so maybe you want to hold your program in March or launch your program in March. If it's a longer program, there can be a good time to launch a program. It is not always going to line up with these, but going forward in internships or jobs, it's nice to tag your programs or your organization's activities with something broader and statewide, nationally, and whatnot. So it just gets momentum going. So I'm going to click on this archive calendar here, and you can see the different, well, the calendar here. They have by health topics, but you can just scroll down and you'll see and just look through these. So Cervical Health Awareness Month. So I know one of you is doing a program not just cervical health, but on, oh my, now I'm losing my train of thought. C-sections. Okay, so maybe there's something along the lines with that. But you want to just kind of look through here and see if there is something that links to yours, because what you can do is then click on that actual month. So we'll just go into Folic Acid Awareness Month and see what they have here. Some are going to have more resources than others, so this one is not going to give us anything, so boo on that one. Heart Health Month, so this is a big one. None of these are gonna, maybe these are gonna work, but what you can do is go in and search, like they're saying, into the organization. The organization still exists. Again, this is gonna help you maybe pick a timing for your program, but then find additional resources. Because remember, with your program, if you find something that already exists, an activity or intervention that already exists, you can use that. So just make sure you cite that source. So if we go back to this and what you're required to include, you want to name your activity and include a detailed description of the activity, and then any links to the resource or source where applicable. So what I'm going to do when I grade your program and project at the end of the semester is I'm going to look to see if I can implement these. Could I take your program and go out and implement your program, or at least 3 interventions and activities from your program? Could I do that with what you provide me? So you really, detail is really good here, and the more you do now, the less you have to do later. So that's what you are required to do. So use this worksheet and fill that out for next Wednesday. And then what you want to do is just attach it to here. You can attach it either as a Google Doc form or Word, either way. And again, you can use this and use any type of resources online. I also encourage you to go back and look at, here I come again, look at chapter 8, those interventions. There's lots of ideas in your book and in the presentation slides. So that should help you a lot too. So if you have any questions while you're doing this, please feel free to email me. But otherwise, I look forward to seeing your strategies.